And business people, they always catch the nice name, IoT. Nowadays, you can see, you go and buy the fridge, you can say that it's fridge written, IoT enabled fridge, IoT enabled air con. A lot of products are already in market claiming that IoT enabled. So once we are working in IoT, sometimes the students and they ask question that who can work in IoT? Is it a field of electronics people, or is it a field of computer science people, or is it a field of mechanical engineering people? I say that combine all these people together, then only Internet of Things is possible. The first thing, like total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Of course, we need a high performance computer, because once we start connecting to everything, you can imagine that in your house, how many household items you have. And once you start combining all the household together, then of course you need a kind of high performance computing. The second one is real time. Real time analytics means like it should work like with respect to the time. Then they are going to generate a lot of data. I'll come to that point later. Then you need a big data analytics. Then machine learning people come in the picture. To sense the human, you need a kind of human and non-living things. We need some kind of different sensors. You need wireless sensor network. Then software, actuators, and these things, embedded system. So all these people join together. They do research, and after that we get a product which we call Internet of Things. So even you are a computer science, hardcore computer engineering guy, you are working in machine learning, you can claim that I'm also working on Internet of Things. Only thing is some kind of application you have to apply there, and you have to write the program for this. You are an electronics guy, expert of embedded system. You have the important part in Internet of Things. Communication fellows, sensor guys. Actuators, some mechanical people can also work in this area. So बिल्कुल नहीं, जहां पे भी है, you can just say that okay, I'm also working on IoT. नया field है, so we can take the benefit of this doubt. We can attach our research in this kind of particular product, which is very, very important for the society, nation, and the world. The things, the only point is, once we call things, how to represent that things into a data form. Because as you know that the computer works based on 0 and 1. If the water bucket can be represented into the data form, everything we need to detect as a data form. I can give you an example of your picture. Generally, you have seen the picture, say that 5 megapixel, 10 megapixel. What is this pixel basically? The pixels, like, you go to the bits and bitwise, 1 bit, if you take the example 1 bit, in 1 bit, either it is 0 or it is 1. So my face, and who is very famous actor now? I don't know, Sushant Rajput. Oh, he's passed away. So like my face and Salman Khan face, if you go to the pixel wise, the difference is maybe for a particular bit, he has the value of 1, I have the value of 0. That's the difference. Any data, any kind of data, if you are able to represent into form of 0 and 1, in form of bit value, then that's all. That bit value you can apply to the program and you can proceed further. This is the way We send our pictures through WhatsApp, we send the pictures through mail, all the videos, see that long videos, that videos are real time, and we convert into the form of 0 and 1 because the computer can understand only the language of 0 and 1. So like you see the 10 hours, 20 hours, 40 hours videos, we can represent into digital form. Like my voice signal, you can see whenever I'm talking to you, my voice signal is analog signal. Like video and audio signals are analog, and that analog signals are converted into digital form in the form of 0 and 1, and that 0 and 1 is converted. Then my computer can understand, my laptop can understand, and it reaching to your mobile phone or your laptop or desktop. I don't know which device you are using. It is into digital form. That digital form again converted into from digital to analog converter used, and then you are listening me on time, real time. So you can see so many processes are there even to listen one of my sentence. The ultimate thing is my voice, my picture is converted into the form of 0 and 1. If everything like in this water, agar ye pani kahin 0 1 ke represent mein, if we can represent these things, that's all. Then we can sense and we can use the internet technology, and then we can proceed for the data gathering and all. So the evolution is very important. यही एक चीज है जो हमें बताती है from where we started and from where we are. I cannot see your faces, therefore I don't know that how old are you, but I'm 40 plus. I'm just sharing one example. When I was a student in 96 or 97, it's roughly around 23 years back. Then one professor came and he started giving a talk, the way I am talking to you, but not through webinar. And he said that one day all the marketing will be through computer and internet. Then myself and few friends were there. I was always backbencher. Then we started talking to our friend and say that ye budha professor pagal ho gaya hai. How it is possible do shopping through internet? We have to see the product, we have to see the paisa dena hai, paisa wapas lena hai, we have to see the product and all. And frankly, I was telling you, I'm telling you, before 24 years, we felt that it's not possible. There is no e-commerce kind of thing is possible. But now you can see today, everything you can buy through computer and internet. Everything you can buy. But if 20 years back, if someone said that you can do shopping through your computer and phone, you start laughing. You feel that no, it's not possible at any cost. Therefore, we should always see the evolution. We used to see the history. Then history can give you big boost up. So pre-internet area, what was there? We have fixed and mobile phone. 25 years back, mobile phone was there. Some phone call comes, phone card dete the, then we call from landline to mobile because mobile phone was so expensive. We can just only give the SMS and all. After that, it comes internet of content. Content means some content means we can send the email, we can have some kind of information, and then entertainment. Then internet of services, which is wave 2.0. So the first one was smart network. Then the second one you can say smart IT platform and services. Then after that it comes e-productivity and e-commerce. Nowadays everything is possible. Then internet of people, social media, smartphones and applications. Even to have the social media, you don't have to carry your laptop. You can imagine that coming from desktop to the laptop, and laptop the mobile phone. If there is no mobile phone, we cannot use Facebook and YouTube. Facebook and YouTube is still possible, but for our what's this WhatsApp and all, Skype, we don't feel comfortable, because everywhere you are not going to carry a big laptop with you. That's only possible because we have the smartphone, and the smartphone is only possible because our electronics people, they develop the devices. They followed this kind of chips. They put into the string the sizes and all, smaller devices, and that smaller devices are more powerful than supercomputers in 60s. Therefore, all the application we can transfer to the mobile phone, and we are very happy with the social media. That is the era of Internet of People. Next era, what we are expecting is the green signal, last one, Internet of Things, where plus smart data and ambient context, which is very, very possible theoretically. And if you have doubt, then you can consider 20 years back, if someone say that there will be a kind of, in your phone you can check email, तो उसको मार ही दोगे अगर बोलने वाले को. How it is possible? That time phone was Nokia 3310. Only text messages were given, and black and white numbers and all you have to put it. But now you see that we are doing. Anyway, how it is going to work? How it work basically? So like RFID, the first one, we identify and track the data of things. Therefore, I said, first of all, whatever the data is generated by a particular things, first you have to identify. Then the sensor to collect and process the data, to detect the changes in the physical status of things. After that, we have a smart technology like that to enhance the power of the network by developing processing capabilities to different part of the network, and nanotechnology like our ICs make it smaller and smaller. So all these things we join together to get the product of IoT. Structure. This is a kind of nice definition, you can say. IoT can be viewed as a network of devices and computers connected through a series of intermediate technologies, where numerous technology like RFIDs, wireless connections may act as enablers of this connectivity. So, like a human, tagging things, it's a real-time traceable and addressable by RFIDs. So RFID is playing a big role here. Second one is feeling, like a human is feeling. The machine should also feel. So feeling is by sensor. Sensor act as a primary device to collect data from the environment. Like I can give a simple example here. Whenever they call IoT enable ACs, you know how IoT enable ACs work? The theory is like this. You enter in your room, in your house, in your building, there is a camera. Camera see that there are sweating, your head are sweating, means sensing is that, okay, you are feeling very hot. Once you are feeling very hot, immediately your air con temperature goes down. It's minimum 16, 17, 18 पे आ गया. After that, start shivering. रात को सोते समय चादर लगे तानने. Sense, air con sense. Oh, now he's feeling cold. Temperature increase automatically. That is a kind of feeling things. Therefore, they call IoT enabled air cons. Means you don't need to set the temperature of your air con. The air con temperature is set by the person who is sleeping. Maybe someone is, उसको ज़्यादा गर्मी लगती है. 16 is there, still he is feeling okay. So sense the human. That is the theoretical definition of IoT enabled aircon. I don't know when they are selling, what they are having, the features and all inside. Shrinking things. Shrinking means like nanotechnology. You can see our smart devices. Number of transistors are increasing day by day. If you are electronics guy, by default I'm an electronic person, so it's another challenge we have. Moore's law say that the number of transistors are getting double after 1.5 years. But last 4 or 5 years, it is not happening because there is no place to be double. So we have to go for the different technology or different logic kind of things. Therefore, people started talking about the quantum computing, because to follow the Moore's law, this semiconductor technology is not going to work. That is a different kind of research people are doing. Then thinking things where we have embedded intelligence. Embedded intelligence, like you go and this car remote is a kind of example of embedded intelligence. You go and just press the button, your car is open. And today you don't feel excited, but you can ask your father that before 20 years, can he imagine this kind of car where he has some kind of remote button to open the car door? No, you have to go and then put the key there, and then after that you open. So therefore I say that, to get the real experience as a research, you have to see the past also. What was happening for 10, 20 years and what is happening today, then only you can confidently predict what will happen after 20 years. So this different type of embedded things, it's a thinking, it's a embedded intelligence, it's a thinking. Even I remember the television, I think abhi Ramayana aa raha tha. I remember this old time, the TV we go, this channel, communication people knows very well. You have to change the channel, then you tuck the change, and after that, गोल गोल घुमाना शुरू करो, ऊपर एक आदमी छत पे, someone is standing saying that okay, रुको, and then make it antennas here and there. Only one channel you can see. But now you can see that, your sensor, your remote is a kind of embedded system. That remote is something like thinking things. It is an embedded intelligence. Intelligence is embedded in the device. And our remotes are one of the example for this. This is the structure IoT use. So this graph is very interesting. Wherever I gave this presentation, even this graph people like. And I start from the last line. Change is the only thing permanent in the world. Always there is a change. If you see that 2003, one connected devices per person was 0.08. World population was 6.3 billion and connected devices were only 500 million. 2003 means not much, just 15, 16, just 17 years back. Ratio was 0.08. In 2010, the connected devices are 12.5 billion. The world population is 6.8 billion, means roughly 6 to double, means एक आदमी पे 2 connecting devices were there. In 2015, world population is 7.2 billion. Connected devices are 2.25, means roughly around 4. And 2020 means today, in this year. In this slide I prepared before 2-3 years. Today what happened? The world population is 7.6 billion. I don't know about after corona disease, maybe some people, the population decrease. So 7.6 billion. And the connected devices are 50 billion. So far, one population, roughly around 7 devices, 6.58. 6.58 devices are connected. So what happened? If the more devices are connected, you are going to generate more and more data. And I can give you